pleased to welcome Mid-Ohio Regional Planning Commission Director Chester Jourdan.
I want to repeat all what's said today. I mean, we know the statistics, you know them. But I do want to take the opportunity to thank, first of all, our law enforcement community, or what I like to call our life-saving community. Those law enforcement officers that the lieutenant was talking about day in and day out, to see the needless deaths and serious injuries on our highways because we failed to do one very simple thing, and that's buckle up. The greatest safety device ever devised in our nation's history. Ever devised in our nation's history, and it costs nothing. It costs nothing for you and I. But one simple act, and that's to use it, to buckle up. As we know, this past spring or earlier this year, there was an effort underway to pass a primary seatbelt law in the state of Ohio, which failed. There are currently 28 states that have a primary belt law. We currently call Ohio's law a secondary law. I'm not sure I know what that means. I mean, we somehow know that we put this contextual framework around primary belt law as some kind of rights issue. Is it some kind of issue relates to something we find in our Constitution? But the greatest right we have is to protect the most precious thing we have in this state, is that's our lives. The greatest resource we have in the state of Ohio is the people who live here. 28 states, including the state of Michigan. The state of Michigan has passed the primary belt law, close to 97% belt use. Very soon, the state of Florida is getting ready to pass a primary belt law with a Republican Senate, a Republican House, and a Republican governor. This is not a philosophical issue. This is not a political issue. This is an issue about what's doing right. This is about the issue passing a law that does something very critical and important that our legislature is dealing with right now. Our state house is focused on. That's why. Trying to cut the budget and save costs. Think about the greatest safety device we have that doesn't cost anything but saves us all money. Something can be done that simple, that easy, that quick about passing a primary belt law. As the lieutenant said, it's already a law in the state of Ohio. We call it a secondary law. But sometimes we forget. Sometimes that 17% that Bill talked about that costs so much all of us, economic costs, healthcare costs, workers' comp costs, Medicare and Medicaid costs, they're costing the system the doctor talked about day in and day out that come into our trauma centers. It's time for us, it's time for the law enforcement community to get the support it needs. It's time for the legislature to pass a primary seatbelt law in the state of Ohio. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Jourdan.